Or what do you think you've seen from your team that you've liked at this point in the season?
I think we play the game the right way. I think we're passionate with the way we play. I think we're aggressive. We're the aggressor. There's no, I haven't seen one opponent that like out-aggressed us on how we play the game. And I think we just have to continue to get more confident with what we're doing at the plate and what we're doing in the circle. But I think we play the game the right way. And like that's so much more of the battle that you come in with the momentum to begin with. So I'm excited about that.
Whenever, obviously, early in the year and with a young team with a lot of freshmen, confidence is going to be one of those things I think you get over time playing in one. Is that something you've really looked for in each game? Because, I mean, you see some games that are kind of how softball is. There's going to be your 2-1 games. You guys had back-to-back and then a 10-run game the very next day. Is that something that you kind of just have to keep preaching on with them, keeping that consistency and confidence in a young team?
Yeah, I mean, our schedule early on has been really challenging, and we had seen tons of really great pitching. So, you know, you have kids that are just brand new to the college game, and you know, they're having to adapt. It's the same game. It's just a faster game, or there's more knowledge on you as a hitter, and then you have the wind elements that come into play on certain things. So, you know, I think a lot of girls, young people, they have to feel success to feel like they're successful, whereas other people can have confidence and then bring that into already your game. So our kids are needing some numbers to feel good about themselves, and you're not always going to get that. So I think we just continue to tell them, like, you're great. That's why you're here. We picked great kids. You pick athletic kids, and you have a very talented coaching staff that is going to help you. You know, so just keep playing the game strong and believe in yourself. And so I think we're doing that more and more and more. I think the more games they get under their belt, that's only going to help them. So there's really not much more you can teach them except experience and to be patient in that.
And obviously when you talk about the amount of games where obviously early in the season there's always tournaments and the round robins where you get a lot of games in with, you know, 5 in the next 3 days, that's going to be another one of those examples. Is there something specifically you're looking for the team on the field with that many games in that short period, and just what you want to see them in a confidence standpoint? Is there anything really you're mainly looking for outside of, you know, winning the game?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's making sure that we still momentum with energy, and I think our kids play best when they're loose and silly and vibrant. I think that's when they play their very best. So, which is really hard to maintain for, you know, 8 hours if you're at the ballpark. So it's making sure that we're mindful of our energy levels and making sure that we're loose and trusting as opposed to tight and pressing throughout that time. Whether they're in the box or in the circle, it's going to be about that. It's who's maintaining their energy the best and who contains the momentum. Sport is about momentum. So how do you get it back whenever it swings the other way? How do you start with it? How do you maintain it? You know, so it's energy containment.
Well, haven't even touched on that as far as how she said that they can get, you know, pretty silly and wild in the dugout there. Is that something you notice you're mindful of, or something you have to encourage, or do they just do that on their own? And have you?
No, I don't have to encourage it. Yeah, and they're really good at being silly, and it's when they're their best self. And so I think, you know, part of coaching is how to get people into their best self when they're in their organic state, and that's how they are, right? And this group can do a really good job of being goofy and silly, but yet being business when we cross into the lines, and we haven't had that a whole lot in my career here. If we were silly before, we were silly in the lines. So this group does a really good job of being silly in the cages and just being nuts, and then going out there and being able to take that looseness with a business side to it as well. So yeah, I kind of more like be silly, be goofy, but there's no way that, I mean, our kids would be like, there's no way I could create it because I can't do half of what they do. So, you know, I think that they do that definitely on their own. It's when they're their best self.
And I guess all things considered, with, you know, having a young team, you've had, like we talked about, you know, a lot of games in your life. Have you been happy with what you've seen overall from the team at this point?
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy this team. They play the game the right way. They play the game hard. There's not ever a day that I'm questioning, like the errors we have had or the mistakes we have had been overly aggressive. been like we want it too bad. And so, heck yeah, I'm going to take that day after day after day, right? Kids that want it so badly that they're going to get themselves out, yeah, I picked that team.
How important is it having someone like Edmondson who's so good out of relief so far to start the season? How does that help you in game planning for 5 games in the next 3 days? Does it make it easier for you having someone like that comes in relief?
Well, anyone that can get it done in the circle makes it easier for me, for sure. We can't say enough about Erin. If we start that kid, we would get the same thing as if we brought her in relief. She's so steady. She stays within her skill set. She knows what makes her good, and she doesn't really get shook that much. So I think the more that you can maintain your emotion in the circle or in the box, where that kid's players like that are only going to be really good. And so, and that's a freshman that's doing that. So she doesn't play like a freshman. She plays with some seniority in her, and we're excited to continue to have her in the circle for a lot of years.
Jessica, 2 home runs Tuesday in one of the games. She's been one of the best hitters in the country to start the season, and she's also the captain of the team. How important is she to the team?
Yeah, you could talk for days about Jess and how she plays the game, and her production numbers are one thing, but how she plays the game is what sets the tone for our team. And she was out with a little injury not too long ago, and our team is like, play for Jess, right? Play exactly like if Jess was there, and I think that only has helped them be more aggressive and play the game harder. Early on in the season, she didn't feel great about her swing, and she's just legging out balls and beating out balls, trying to get a double, and being a still threat and just doing the little things, the intangible things in the game. So her numbers are, of course, any coach would pick her numbers, but it's how she plays the game and how she leads and what her character is that makes her so invaluable to us.
And then just 4-1 on the homestand so far, and obviously one more weekend to kind of cap off this early season homestand. I guess just how big of an emphasis is that for y'all to kind of protect your home field?
Yeah, it's so important for our kids to be here, to be at home, to be able to play in front of a home crowd, to be in their own dirt, to go to class and take care of business there. I think that it's naturally what they're doing. We don't have to hammer it in and say, like, no one comes in our house. Like, they know that, and they're playing the game so strongly right now. And I think our losses have been in situations where we ran ourselves out of innings or tried too hard. So, I love the way – you don't have to overcoach this team. They just play the game the right way, and they want to win. And so you don't have to manufacture it. They know that. They want to come in here, and they want to beat every single team that we go against.
With the youth on this team, did you notice early in the year, or even now, whenever there was a game last Saturday where there's 2 3-run home runs, so the game is in hand, fairly quickly compared to games where it's 1-1. Do you notice a different tightness or looseness with a team like that? Whenever some games are, you're fighting every out really, and others with a 6-run, 5-run lead, you can feel them loosen up a bit. Is that something you've noticed?
Yeah, it's definitely about your confidence level, and young people will get tight as the game gets tight, and relaxed senior people will be able to maintain their level of play, period, whatever is the situation in the game. And so it goes with confidence, it goes with trust. I think it's definitely showing that we're young in that way, and our kids know that, and they're working really hard to continue to play their game and to continue to trust their ability. And there haven't been many games we haven't been in, and so the thing is that we just figure out a way, no matter how tight it is, no matter if it's an extra innings, you just figure out a way. You trust your ability enough to know that you're the better team, and you're the better player in that moment. And they're working on that. They're working on it hard. So I'm excited to continue to get games under them and help them have experiences to succeed in that.
And when do you think that can really be implemented? Like, obviously you can't do it instantly, but does it just take like so many repetitions, or does it kind of take after a freshman year you look back and that's how you can apply it to a future season? Or when do you really think they can get that confidence where if it's a tight game, they begin to relax?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's individual specific. It depends on each kid. I don't think it will take a full senior or a full freshman year for our kids if you have experience in that. We've had tons of tight games already. They've been experienced in it and will continue to play higher opponents in the Big 12. So, we're hoping that in this homestand we get some successes, and that carries you through in those tight games to say, hey, here's the success I've had that I can lean back on and trust my instincts and trust my ability. So that's what we're looking to have in these next few weeks.
So how's the start of the season been now that you guys are have a good sample size of games, and how are you guys feeling right now?
I think we're definitely getting into a rhythm and starting to trust ourselves more and loosen up. And I think that we're playing well together and just really excited to see where we go this season.
And what about yourself specifically? It's a 6-game McHaney streak going on. How do you feel about your individual play so far this season?
It's good. I just really focus on just doing my best to get on base and so that my teammates I know can hit me in. So just trying to keep it simple and do my job for the team.
Is it different when you guys, a couple of games were back-to-back 2-1, then there'll be a game that's 10-2 or so? Is that something you kind of have to weather throughout the season, or what have you discovered about the team as far as that goes?
I think we have discovered that we're really into being loud and big in the dugout. So whether we're up 10-2 or up 2-1 or down 2-1, I think we always have the same energy, and we're crazy and cheering and just trying to get after it every inning. So, yeah.
Is that something you've talked about before? Something you guys are trying to do, or does it just come throughout the game?
It just comes throughout the game. We have this thing, we have bubbles in the dugout, so we just kind of bring that, knowing that that's kind of going to hype us up and get us ready to go. So.
And with obviously these next few games coming up, I think it's 5 in 3 days or so, what are you hoping to see the growth from this team in those games specifically?
I'm hoping to see us attack every team the same and maintain our same energy and just go at it every inning and just play hard.
You're one of the handful of newcomers that's had an impact early on in the season. What's sort of been the thing that's made it easy to get acclimated to the team and perform well on the field?
Definitely the girls here and the coaches. That was why I came here in the first place, was the atmosphere that everybody just had here, and it was really something that I needed at the time. So every day is just a family environment, and it's just just so positive, and we're ready to get out to go after it. So.
Is it tough getting ready? I know you guys play 5 times over the next 3 days against different teams. Is it tough sort of game planning for all the different pitchers that you're going to be seeing and whatnot?
We do a scouting report, but I think every pitcher that we see, we just think of it as it's a new pitcher and we're going to bring our best and just swing our best swings and win the at-bat. So I wouldn't say it's hard or anything.